We also passed legislation called the Parentage Act. This law updates really outdated statutes and recognizes all the various kinds of families that we have here in the Commonwealth, the beauty of all the different families. That bill is in particular so essential to our LGBTQ plus community members and friends and neighbors. It does include a standalone bill that I had filed about birth certificates, which is a funky problem that previously, but I'm glad to say no longer exists in our state law, particularly an issue for single parents. There was a piece of our law that said that birth certificates have to list biographical information about both parents. And so when you have a child brought into this world with a single parent by choice, our forms inherently told that child from the moment they were born that there was something missing from their lives because there was a blank line on this form. And we've now passed legislation and signed it into law to change that. And so you can have however many parents are actually involved in that particular child's life. That's how many parents go on the birth certificate form.
Senator Becker Rausch, I have a question directly for you. Regarding the Parental Equality Act, I think it was H.4750, you specifically had mentioned regarding the birth certificates. Wonderful that you're able to support single women and be mindful of them. I think that bill had wonderful, beautiful things wrapped into it. However, in the justification of equality, you also managed to remove mother and father from the terminology. Can you please speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Happy to address the question. That's not true that the words mother and father have been erased. As far as I know, my kids are still calling me mommy.
Right, they are, but I'm talking about the birth certificate specific level that you implemented that changed the words instead of saying mother and father. I think it now says parent something and parent one or parent two.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Give her a chance to answer the question.
Parents go by all sorts of names. We don't actually need to specify in statutory law whether a particular parent is a mother or a father. Maybe you have two moms. Maybe you have two dads. Maybe you have only one parent and that parent doesn't go by mom or dad. There are all sorts of different names that people use now. And who am I to say as a lawmaker what those names should be? Those names are, and those special words that we use between parents and kids. That's up to each family, I think, to determine. And parent is the easiest word that doesn't dictate any of those special terms that we use for each other. My kids call my mother or grandmother Minna. I've never heard anybody else use that name, but my oldest was trying to say grandma and it came out Minna and it stuck. And so, I don't have I have no input as to what particular families are using for kids to refer to their parents. I just want to make sure the forms actually reflect and uplift all the different families we have in the state. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
So just to re-ask the question, on the way that the bill is written, does it say on birth certificates now mother or father if that was the parent's choice?
That'll be up to the Department of Public Health to implement.